Here are the top 10 new Netflix releases everyone's talking about. From intense thrillers to heart-melting romances, these are the movies you can't miss right now. Watch till the end. Number 5 is a total game changer. And don't forget to subscribe for more weekly movie picks. 1. Exterritorial. 2025. This German action thriller is already making waves on Netflix. The plot follows a former Special Forces soldier struggling with PTSD as she searches for her missing son inside a U.S. consulate in Germany. The tension is high from the start. Every scene feels urgent, dangerous, and emotionally charged. The relationship stakes are personal, adding depth beyond the action. The film keeps you guessing, with betrayals and loyalties shifting throughout. Exterritorial is the kind of Netflix release people will talk about long after the credits roll. 2. My Oxford Year. 2025. This romantic drama has recently trended thanks to its dreamy setting and emotional stakes. A poet from California studies abroad in Oxford and meets someone who challenges everything she thought she wanted. Their bond is tender, fragile, and full of whispered dreams. The conflict arises when loss and grief enter the picture, forcing her to choose between her heart and her plans. The chemistry is slow burning, with scenes of libraries, poetry, and candlelit confessions. It's the kind of romance that lingers in your thoughts days later. The movie teases heartbreak without going too melodramatic. Its strength lies in how it balances beauty, loss, and hope. 3. K-pop Demon Hunters. 2025. This one's breaking records. K-pop Demon Hunters recently became Netflix's most watched film of all time. It blends music, fantasy, and heart in a tale about a K-pop girl group who double as demon hunters. The film delivers spectacle and emotion, weaving in themes of identity, sacrifice, and loyalty. Beneath the dazzling visuals, there's real emotional weight, wanting to protect loved ones while chasing impossible dreams. The characters grow under pressure and heartbreak, giving the story depth beyond flashy action. Fans are drawn not just to the music, but to the relationships and pain behind fame. It's proof that Netflix can still surprise us with genre hybrids that hit hard emotionally. For Ballad of a Small Player. 2025. A psychological thriller with romantic undertones. This Netflix original stars Colin Farrell in a story about gambling, obsession, and desire. He plays a poker addict drawn into a dangerous underworld, but his heart is pulled between power and vulnerability. Amid the tension, romantic threads surface, people he invests in emotionally, even as he goes deeper into deceit. The film frames romance as nearly as intoxicating as risk, making both heartbreak and ruin feel close. Every choice Farrell's character makes is a gamble with someone else's heart. Stylistically slick and morally ambiguous, this movie teases the boundaries of trust and betrayal. It's not a soft romance, it's one with shadows. A surprising Netflix release that demands attention. 5. The Old Guard 2. 2025, the sequel to Netflix's action fantasy, Hit the Old Guard returns with stakes raised for immortals. While the story is primarily action-driven, romantic tension and loyalty tests are woven through the relationships of the immortal warriors. The love stories here feel buried but are no less real, as the characters fight centuries-old pains and modern betrayals. Romantic bonds serve as emotional anchors in an otherwise violent world. Stakes aren't just life and death, they're about who you trust when your world is eternal. Expect heartbreaks, loyalty betrayals, and moments where love is both strength and weakness. As battles rage, the emotional wounds bleed as much as the physical ones. The Old Guard 2 promises to keep us invested in both the fight and the feelings. 6. Revelations. 2025. This Netflix thriller is already standing out for its dark tone and moral gravitas. It follows a pastor who believes punishing criminals is his divine right, crossing paths with a detective broken by her own trauma. Romance sits uneasily in the shadows, but when it surfaces, the connection carries weight, complicated by secrets, guilt, and power. The relationships are not simple. Desire, belief, and betrayal clash. Every affection is heavy with history and regret. The tension between duty and love sharpens each scene. Revelations succeeds because it doesn't treat romance as a side story. It makes love part of the moral puzzle. A Netflix release that's as thought-provoking as it is emotional. 7. Ad Vitam, 2025. An action thriller with real emotional stakes. Ad Vitam introduces a former GIGN operator whose pregnant wife is kidnapped. Amid the high-stakes chase, personal relationships are tested, especially the bond between husband and wife. The desperation and fear that romance brings in life-threatening moments are front and center. Romantic trust is pushed to the limit when betrayal could mean death. The film shows how love can be a weapon and a vulnerability. Every rescue attempt feels like a confession. The visuals match the emotional intensity. Stakes are high on both frontiers. Ad Vitam proves Netflix can blend action and heartbreak compellingly. 8. Frankenstein, 2025. Netflix's anticipated adaptation of Frankenstein brings a classic love and tragedy narrative into a modern frame. The romantic dynamics between Victor and those he obsesses over are woven into the horror and existential questions. As the creature seeks connection, romance and betrayal intertwine. Love in this story often comes with sacrifice, regret, and unintended destruction. The lines between creator and lover blur, making heartbreak inevitable. Every moment of affection is tinged with doom. This adaptation promises to explore love's darker edges. It's a Netflix original many hope will be both haunting and romantic. 9. Steve, 2025. Steve is a dramatic Netflix original about a troubled high school teacher, based on the novel Shy. Though not strictly a romance, emotional connections and longing underlay much of the character relationships. The film teases scenes of love, guilt, and regret among youthful stories, tangled in angst. Romance here feels coming of age, full of mistakes and yearning. The heartbreak is slow, subtle, and intimate. Every glance speaks more than words. It's a Netflix release that aims to feel both universal and personal. Steve reminds us that sometimes the greatest heartbreaks are about growing up, not giving up. 10. Brick, 2025. Brick is a mystery thriller that traps characters in a strange barrier blocking their building. While suspense leads, relationships form under pressure, romantic ties tested as survivors fight for escape. The love stories here are forged in crisis, where trust and betrayal become life and death choices. Affections strain as fear escalates. When you survive a disaster, hearts can crack even more than bones. The triangle tension there is between safety, loyalty, and desire. Every moment of connection is dangerous and precious. Brick promises Netflix fans more than thrills. It promises emotional fracture under pressure. These films are taking over Netflix, and for good reason. Each one leaves you wanting more. Tell me in the comments which one you're watching tonight. If you enjoyed this list, hit that like button and subscribe for more trending movie breakdowns.